All right, you guys. So let's go ahead and take a look at this here, guys. In this case, we're going to still be working in this case, guys, with graphing inequalities with two variables. But in this case, we're actually going to be focused in this case, guys, on writing equations that are written in standard form. And we're going to go from standard to slope, right? So keep a few things in mind. In this case, guys, inequalities, right? We actually have the greater than or equal to, which are these two, right? They're open towards the left, and equal to has a line on the bottom. Or we have the less than, which is open towards the right, and the less than or equal to, which also has a line on the bottom. A few things we need to know in this case, guys, is that when you have an equal to sign, that value is going to be included, which means it's part of the solution, right? So positivity, so you guys can write this down. I'll move on to the next portion. Next portion in this case, guys, when it comes to graphing, right? Based on the inequality itself, you're either going to have a solid line or you're going to have a dashed line. How we determine if we have a solid line, which is these two here. It's obviously one or the other, guys. It's not both. You have a line under it. Notice in this case, guys, we have that line under it. That would determine a solid line there. In terms of a dashed line, I have no line under the inequality, so therefore I will have a dashed line here. Okay, so let's take a look now at the shaded portion, at the shading. And in terms of the shading in this case, guys, if it's a greater than, it's going to be shaded above. And by the way, guys, this here's above and that's above. And if it's a less than sign, which is these ones here, it's going to be shaded below. Right, and really based on that in this case, guys, it's going to be determined if it's a solid or a dashed line as well. So once again, go ahead and pause these videos, guys, so you guys can actually copy that portion here. Let's go ahead and start off in this case, guys, with directions and our first example. We are going to be graphing in this case, guys, like I mentioned, inequalities, and also going to be shading them with the sections that include the solutions. So in this case, guys, I actually want to go ahead and write the equation here in slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. All right, y equals mx plus b. So what I want to go ahead and do in this case, guys, I want to go ahead and isolate y, which means I want to go ahead and leave y alone. How we're going to do that's the same thing we do in this case, guys, if I were to have an equation. So I'm going to go ahead and first anything that's being added or subtracted to y. In this case, it's going to be the 5x. 5 in this case, guys, notice is a positive. So I'm going to go ahead and subtract the 5x and subtract the 5x. Right? I know that on this side, it's going to become a 0. And now I'm just left with the 4y is less than a negative 5x minus 16. Notice these two guys are not like terms, so I cannot combine them. So we just write them side by side. Notice, guys, y is alone here. I still need to get rid of that 4. How we're going to get rid of it is doing the opposite. So I'm going to go ahead and divide by 4 on all sides. Divide by 4 on all sides. I know that this here is going to become a 1. So that's y is less than negative 5 over 4x minus 4. And this here in this case, guys, if you enter it on the calculator, it's going to give you a decimal, which is negative 1.25, right? But then we can convert that to a fraction, okay? And then simplify this out, and this is what we have. This here is already in slope-intercept form. Slope-intercept form. And with this here, guys, I could actually identify two things. I could identify my slope, which is m. And usually m in this case, guys, is the number that carries the variable, carries the x. So my slope is negative 5 over 4. And I'm actually going to rewrite it as literally a negative 5 over 4. Because whenever a fraction has a negative, only one of the numbers becomes a negative, not both. So the way I'm going to go ahead and describe this, because we know that slope is rise over run, I will be going down 5 because it's negative, and then right 4 because it's positive. Keep in mind in this case, guys, once again, slope, which is m, is rise over run. And the rise in this case, guys, I'm either going to go up or I'm going to go down. And for the run, it's either left or right. So if it's up, it's positive. If it's down, it's negative. If it's left, it's negative. If it's right, it's positive. Okay. And my y-intercept in this case, guys, my y-intercept is going to be the point -4. Or it would actually be the point 0, -4. So this is the work in this case, guys, that we're showing. That's the work that we're showing, and we're actually now going to graph it. This is the work in this case, guys, and I want to go ahead and graph it now. Keep in mind in this case, guys, as well, that we are graphing this inequality here. All right, using the slope and using the y-intercept. All right. Now, before I move on in this case, guys, if I take a look at my inequality here, more specifically in this case, guys, our symbol, I could actually determine if my line is going to be solid or dashed, right? Now, because this is a less than, and it doesn't have an equal sign on the bottom, I know that this is going to be a dashed line. And because it's less than, it's going to be shaded below. So let's go ahead and graph it in this case, guys. Let's go ahead and graph it here. So I'm going to go ahead and start off in this case, guys, creating a graph here. Something small. This is X. That is Y. And I have 1, -1, -2, -3, -4, -6, -7, -8, -9, -10. Let's say -11. And I'm going to go ahead and do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3. All right, I'm going by 2s in this case, guys. By 2s, so this is 2, 4, 6, 8. I don't have to write all of them because I know that in between them, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on. This is -2, -4, -6, -8, -10. And this here's -2. So let's go ahead and graph the inequality, guys. I'm going to start off with -4. So on the y-axis, I'm going to go ahead and go on to -4, which is here. Now, my slope in this case, guys, like we mentioned, because it's -5/4, I am going to be going down 5, right 4. So I'm going to go ahead and do 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I should actually have my new point in that section there, which is going to be 4, -9. So let's go ahead and create that line in this case, guys. Let's create that line here. And this is what we have, right? That is how my equation should look like. Inequality. Now, because we said it's dashed, I'm going to go ahead and actually do some erasing here, right? I'm going to erase a few things here. So that way, in this case, we can determine that it's dashed. And because we're shading below in this case, guys, the graph here, this here is below, that is above. So below, I'll go ahead and shade it in orange here. And it's basically all the section here. All that section. That there is shaded below. All right, that is problem 1.